So a Ring doorbell catches an officer running away, leaving behind the victim with the perpetrator. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Marquita Show podcast, a podcast where I talk about everything from politics to pop culture and everything in between. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for post notifications so you get notified every single time that I post and or go live. Also, if you are not following me on my social media, make sure to do so. The links will be down below in the description box, especially TikTok, because we have so much fun over there and I post a lot more over there. So you'll get a little bit more of me than you will just watching me on YouTube. But anyway, so today's video actually comes from TikTok. It actually came down my timeline. It's quite interesting, and I'm not gonna lie, I laughed at first, but this is not a laughing matter, so don't do that, guys. So it's actually a video. It's from a Ring doorbell. It's out of Chicago, and it's a video of an officer running away. Now, before I say more, I'm gonna play the video, and then we're gonna talk about it. So as always, let's hit that play button.
I'm staying over here. I don't want to. Just, I don't want to. Hey, my man, do not do that, my man.
Okay, so you just watched that video. I guess I should have gave you guys a little bit background before I played the video. But from what I gathered, that it was a domestic dispute going on, I guess, between boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife. But the two people that are at the end, that's the couple. The police were called. I guess the cop, he came to try to de-escalate the situation, because as you can hear, he's talking to the guy. He's saying, I think I can hear him saying, "You're not in trouble. You're not in trouble." And next thing you know, you see the guy, and the officer, he has his gun drawn. He has it down by its side, but you see the perpetrator come out the door with a gun as well, and you see the officer run down the stairs and leave the female victim alone with the guy. And I think she asked, "If you're gonna shoot me," he says, "Yeah, I want to shoot you," or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he points the gun at her. And so there has been backlash, as you might guess. It was seen to be as cowardly by the officer, which I kind of sort of agree, but I want you guys to hear me out. So it was in any normal circumstances, this would be cowardly for an officer to run and leave the victim behind. But let's take into account what has been going on in America for the last year, which is the defunding of police. A lot of cities have cut back on their police staff, their police patrol. There was a whole movement where, let's get rid of the police. We don't need the police. And so a lot of communities, took money away from it to put in other programs, and to do other stuff. But there was a really bad, connotation going on with officers. So I'm assuming the officers don't feel appreciated. And another thing that was going on with them is, if we all know BLM, Black Lives Matter, they intervened in a lot of police shootings, where especially and only where the cop was white or, of a different race, non-Black, I'll say that, and the perpetrator was black, and they made it a race thing. And a lot of cops got a bad reputation for good work. Well, I don't want to say good work, because when you kill somebody or shoot somebody, that's really not a good thing. But let's say justified. They would have justified shootings, but BLM would paint them as problematic. They paint them as if they were, they did something wrong. It's on purpose, even though the shootings were justified. For example, Jacob Blake, when he was going in his car reaching for something, when you just get up scuffling with the police and go to your car, yeah, you're going to get, pew pew. Like, I'm just saying, don't reach for anything. I thought that was like the number one rule. Keep your hands where they can see them. But, he went in a car and he got shot. We also know more recently of the Ma'Khia Bryant story, where she pulled out a knife on another girl and was literally about to stab her in the neck, and the police, did what he had to do. It was justified. But, from the beginning, they wanted to paint the officer as bad. He could have did something else. So imagine all of that being on this police officer's mind. Not saying it was, and I'm not saying that it was okay that he ran away, but I can understand based on the atmosphere that we're in, where cops are hated for any and everything that they do. Now let's take it, let's say this. Say for instance, if he had have shot that guy, him being, I don't know what race he is. He does not appear to be black, but the perpetrator is black. If he were to shoot him, I think we all can kind of guess where that would have went if that had happened. We saw it with Ma'Khia Bryant. We saw it with George Floyd. Well, I'm going to leave George Floyd out. His is a little bit different case. But we also saw it with Jacob Blake. We saw it with Rayshard Brooks, where the person was being very aggressive towards someone else. And in this case, the officer did not engage. He left, which is probably not the best thing to do, because if that was my family member and a cop had did that, I would be highly upset. I would have. I'm not gonna lie. Like, one bad apple kind of spoiled the whole bunch. Like, she didn't call the police for you to just run away. She called you for help, and for you to just do that's really sad. But again, I understand the hate that people have for the police officers right now. It doesn't surprise me that this guy did that. He could have ended his whole career if he had shot that guy. There was potential for that to happen. A great chance that it would happen, because it happens to a lot of officers. They have good, situations where they do what they're supposed to, and they still get blamed for it. They lose their job. They're thrusted into the public eye, and people hate them. Like, in a instant, just to try to save somebody else's life, you end up losing yours, and not literally, but figuratively, you're being harassed. You have no life, because at this point, people hate you, and you did what you thought was right at the time. So I'm not going to say that was right what the officer did, but I do understand. Now, on the flip side of that, I also want to talk about the more in depth about the defund the police. As you guys may know, the Democrats are trying to flip the switch a little bit. They're trying to say it was Republicans that are trying to defund the police. Now, I need everybody to put on your thinking caps, and let's go back a few months. I don't recall any Republicans promoting defund the police, but I do, on the other hand, remember several Democrats and progressive pushing for the defunding of police and using that exact wordage. The big mouth of them all, Miss AOC herself, was the biggest pusher of defund the police. And a lot of these Democratic run cities, they went along with it and they started to defund their police. Thus, you see an increase in crime all over the place, especially in Democratic cities, and the one that chose to reallocate that money somewhere else instead of just refunding the police, because now we have a high crime rate. But yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that subject and see how you guys felt about that. How now the Democrats are trying to flip the switch and say the Republicans are the ones that tried to defund the police simply because they didn't back a bill. I think it had something about giving more money to like officers or something, but trust me, it was buried in some pork, and Republicans wasn't having that. So anyway, but also I want to hear what you think about what this officer did. Do you understand why he did? Do you think it's cowardly? How do you feel about the whole defund the police thing that's going on, the back and forth? Do you foresee more things like this happening because of a push to defund the police and because of all the backlash that officers are getting from people for justified shootings? So it's kind of crazy going on, but I really, really want to know what you guys think. And honestly, I did laugh at this video at first, but then I thought about it. It's not funny. So don't be like me and don't laugh at the video. But he did. He booked it down them stairs. He was like, "Not today, Satan, not today." But anyway, make sure to leave your thoughts, comments down below in the description box. Tell me what you think. Defund the whole police movement, this issue, whatever you want to talk about. Also, don't forget to go follow me on my social medias. Like I said, the links will be down below. And till next time, you know I love you. One vibe, one tribe. Deuces.